quite self-indulgent because I'm just going to talk about myself, but I feel like if you're watching this, it's because you're interested, so I'm just going to roll with it. And if you're not interested, you don't have, the beauty of this is you don't have to watch this video if you don't care. So, a little bit about me. My name's Kate. I am a vet nurse, was a vet nurse. I'm not sure if I can still call myself a vet nurse because I haven't been working as one for a long time, because I've been doing this. But my first vet nursing job, once I was qualified, was actually in Darwin in the Northern Territory. So yeah, the NT is just a different kettle of fish to anywhere else in Australia. I worked there for a year, and then I moved to Katherine, which is like a small town in the NT, 3 hours south of Darwin, so inland. And that job was, we travelled all around the Northern Territory to remote Aboriginal communities doing dog programs. So we would, drive for hours and hours to the most remote parts of the NT, to Indigenous communities, and we would drive around in our ute and speak to people about their dogs, and if they wanted, we would give them treatments for ticks and fleas, and if they wanted them desexed, we would give them a needle and whip them on the back of the ute and desex them then and there. So some days, in the blistering heat, we are driving around communities and desexing like 20, 30, 40 dogs a day kind of thing, and trying to catch dogs that don't want to be caught to give them needles. So that was, it was pretty cool. It was such an amazing experience, and I've traveled far and far and wide over so many communities in NT. Did that for a couple of years, which was really cool. I met a lot of dogs. I got bitten on the ass by a camp dog. I fostered a lot of puppies. I took home a lot of animals, and rehomed them, and I had a great time. It was pretty, I look back now, so you don't think so at the time, but it was a really good time of my life. I was young and carefree, and I could do whatever I wanted. Anyway, so I lived in and out of the NT for the better part of a decade. I always ended up back there even when I left. I just love it. Alice Springs for a while as well. And then, we'll skip forward to, I started the business, the Saltiest Dog, while I was in Alice Springs. I was working full time at an event there, and it was just my little side hustle. I did the Todd Mall Markets on a Sunday morning, and I just sold like dog treats and accessories and stuff like that. And it just kind of grew and grew and grew, and then I started renting a space at the front of a doggy daycare and grooming and boarding place in Alice Springs. Bark and Bath, shout out to Bark and Bath. It just kept growing and growing and growing, and eventually I sort of cut back on my job and was doing that more, and there was a stage there I was just like working 20 million hours a day, so not much has changed in that regard. And eventually I quit my job and I just did the business stuff. I was working at the daycare center as well at the same time, so it was in the same place. And then I got pregnant with twins, and the pregnancy got a little complicated quite early on. So, and we were always planning on moving back to Melbourne to be closer to family when the babies came anyway, but I kind of had to pack up the business and leave Alice Springs quite quickly to get to Melbourne for like an ultrasound, like a kind of somewhat urgent ultrasound on the little bubbers. So I did that. So it was pretty bit chaotic actually, quite stressful, but anyway, I'll skip forward all the boring bits. Well, not boring for me, but had the babies in January 2020, and then COVID happened. So that was 2020, and when the babes were about, 6 months old, I thought I would enjoy more time off as a stay-at-home mum, but I was like just kind of itching to work again, really. So against my better judgment, I restarted the business. I think when they were about, 8 months old or something. Stupid idea. But anyway, the boys started going to daycare. I restarted the business from home. And then, it I outgrew my spare room very quickly. Got the shop in Thornbury, which I was terrified about, but it went good, and I outgrew the shop quite quickly, and now have the warehouse in Epping, which I'm driving to right now. And yeah, I guess since, you know, the Saltiest Dog started as a little market store, like 5 years later now probably, and here I am still working a million hours a day, but with 2-year-old twins who don't sleep. So yeah, I'm often tired, a little bit scatterbrained. My memory doesn't function all that well, but every day I'm doing my best, and I'm lucky to have a bunch of fantastic customer friends who support me, who really support me, like really support me, not just like by buying my stuff, but they're always there for me, giving me words of encouragement and kindness, and I am so grateful for that. And I'm grateful to my family, because my family have really supported me in like being able to do this business at the same time as trying to raise the boys. Yeah, and I love dogs. Did I mention that? My dog Lulu, she's the light of my life. She's the reason it all started, and she's probably the main reason it all keeps going. Yeah, I'm obsessed with her. She's perfect, and I love everybody's dogs a lot. So that's kind of the, I guess, the passion behind it. I've always loved dogs, and I just want to make them healthy food and have lots of nice things for you to get for your dogs. Thank you. That was probably really boring.